Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great weekend and was able to get outside a little bit. It was beautiful weather and enjoy the weather outside. And yeah, off to another week this week. There's going to be some new stuff this week that we're going to be doing. If you watch my notes every night that come home, make sure you're watching for the specific Zoom meetings. There's going to be some days where I'm going to be busy. I have some meetings this in the evening, so there might not be some night Zoom meetings. And then in the morning, there will be some specific Zoom meetings that I'm going to be going over specific topics. So please make sure you're reading through it and making sure that you, if it deals with your grade, that you're jumping on that Zoom meeting, so that way you get a little bit extra help. If I don't say your grade, you can still jump on that Zoom meeting and ask questions or anything like that. Feel free to do that. But I'm going to be trying to help more specifically with specific subjects every single day. So just watch those letters and make sure you get on those Zoom meetings during the day. All right. Third and fourth graders, your social studies, I'm hoping that you guys have been working on that and getting that poster ready for your president. That is due by the end of the day tomorrow. So please make sure you get that done and completed. Remember, you can draw pictures, you can design it. It's got to be colored, make it look real nice, look like a good poster, and give me some interesting facts. Teach me a little about the president that you chose. Okay. First through fourth graders, for your spelling, we're starting a new unit today. We're on Unit 27. Unit 27, you're just doing the first page where you write the words one time in the book, and then you also going to write your words two times. Please send me a picture of your both of those, so that way I can see that you did those. Sorry, this isn't 27. This is Unit 28, and we're going to be getting ready for the test again on Friday. I'll have all of the words in there sometime tomorrow, by tomorrow, so that way you can start studying on the spelling city. All right. Kindergarten. Lauren, today you're going to be in Super Kids. You're going to be looking at the letter R. First thing I want you to do is I want you to go around your house and try to find 3 things that start with that letter R. And take a picture of it and have your mom send it to me. Okay? So find anything and just find 3 things that start with the sound and send that to me. And then you're going to write your letter R, big and little, again, 10 times, working on writing those nice and neat. And then also you need to do just one of your pages from your those R worksheets that I sent home. So just do one of those. Okay, then you also have a math assignment. On your math assignment today, you're dealing with measuring things. And it's going to have some lines here. And usually we would use those linking cubes that we have in our classroom, but I don't think you have those at your house. So if you can find some pennies, and you're going to line them all up here the same length as the line, and then you got to count the pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up. And whatever number that is, then you write it on the line. And then you do that for all 4 of those lines. Shouldn't be too hard, okay? But make sure you use pennies. You don't have to worry about using the linking cubes, unless you have some. If you have the linking cubes, great, use those. But if you don't, use pennies for me, please. On the back side of that page, you're going to be writing your numbers 1 to 20 again. Keep up the good work. Make sure you're not flip-flopping your numbers or writing them backwards. Really make sure you're taking your time, and after you're all done, go back and double check to make sure they're all written right. All right? All right, that's it for kindergarten today. First grade, make sure again, just another reminder, starting the new week, you're reading every single night, probably 15 minutes or so. Read it out loud to your mom or dad. So you can just pick a book and read every single night. It's very, very, very important that you do that every single day. On your math, first page is just dealing with subtracting, so how to subtract 10 minus something. So you're going to always start with 10 fingers and whatever it says take away. So 10 minus 2, take away 2. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's 8. So always start with your 10 fingers and then put down how many they tell you and then count how many fingers are left up. That'll help you with that first page, front and back. That on page, the lesson practice page. On number 1, you're going to work with the number 93. Write it 2 more times, count up the digits, do the tally marks like we've always done there. Number 2 deals with money. It says Kayla has 3 dimes and 2 pennies. So remember, if it's 3 dimes and 2 pennies, the dime number always goes first and the penny number always goes second. So 3 dimes and 2 pennies. Oh, that is the number 32. Then it says Trisha has 2 dimes and 5 pennies. So again, the dime number goes first and the penny number goes second. And then you got to tell me how many dimes altogether. So you count how many dimes. You do 3 plus 2. Write that number in for the dimes. And then how many pennies? 2 plus 5. Write that number there. And then how much money is that? Again, dime number first, penny number second. Number 3 is a little bit newer. This is a chart. You have a chart of favorite donuts over there. There's 3 types of donuts that the kids could choose: chocolate, jelly, or cinnamon. They all sound good to me. What you're going to look at here is Mrs. Paolo's class, and it says 3 chose chocolate donuts. You're going to put 3 donuts, or you could do smiley faces for the kids. So 3 in the chocolate, 6 in the jelly, and 4 in the cinnamon. So you got to draw. That's how many boxes you're going to be drawing a smiley face in. Okay, for each one of those, and then which one was the favorite, and how many more like jelly than cinnamon. So I'm just going to do a box here. Let's say. I'm just going to say this is jelly, and this isn't what actually how the answer is, but if I did this and I said this is jelly and this is cinnamon, okay? Well, how many more jelly are there than cinnamon? Well, these are the same, these are the same. Oh, look, but there's this many more, right? So there's 2 more. So your answer is 2 there because there's 2 more left, or 2 more jelly than there are cinnamon. So that's how you do that. Let's try one more here. Let's see, jelly and cinnamon again. We have. So how many more jelly than cinnamon? All right, there's 1. Those are the same. So you have 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 more jelly than there are cinnamon there. All right. So make sure you're careful with how you do that as we go throughout there. Okay. All right. That's your math for today. All right. For your reading today, on page 203 and 206, on page 203, you have to fill in the blank using those 2 words. Shouldn't be too hard. They match the picture, not too difficult. Same with on page 204, just filling in the blank. That should be pretty simple too. Okay, on page 205, you have a page there. You have the word buy, my, fly, try, cry, and why. Those are all the I words that we've been talking about lately. You got to find them hidden in with all those letters for 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6. You got to find the word that's misspelled, circle it, and write it correctly. Not too hard. Now, page 206, that's the one that goes with the story that I put up on YouTube last week. If you haven't watched it yet, you need to go to YouTube. Remember, go to my page, Mr. Holman's Classroom, COL, capital C, capital L, and watch the story When I Grow Old with You. And what you need to do is answer those questions. It's like doing a little book report there. So you got to write the title. Okay, well, the title's all the way up in the directions, so that should be pretty simple. What did you think of the story? So did you like the story? Did you not like the story? One of those questions. And then would you recommend it to a friend and why? Recommend means would you tell a friend that they should read it? Yes or no, and then tell me why. Yeah, so if you said yes, don't just write yes. Say yes because I thought it was a good book, or yes or no because I thought it was boring, or something along those lines. Okay? So that's your reading for today. Roddy, for your reading today, on page 41, you're dealing with a thing called an index. If you look at that yellow box on page 41, that deals with an index. This is like if I was trying to find something in a book, I would go to the index, and then it tells me what page to go to. So like if I was to look for coal, if you look at that yellow box, I find the word coal, and then I put my finger over, and it says go to page 129. That's what you're going to have to do there. You're going to have to answer those questions by looking at that yellow box up there and solving those there. Not too hard. 42, you got to tell me about a character's action. You got to read the story, little passage, little sentence there, and then fill in the bubble next to the correct sentence that tells us about how you think the character is feeling, and write that, or fill in the bubble next to that one. Then on page 43, you have to take Read the words in the little box. I don't even know what color that is. Maybe it's yellow or orange. And then you have to tell me which word goes with the meaning over there. So like one of them says I am. Well, if I put those I am together, I can make one word which means I'm. Okay, so I'd write I'm on the line. Now be careful because like one of them says beneath. Well, if you look over at the other box, there's a word there that's similar to beneath, but it's a little shorter. Okay? They replaced some of the missing letters there. So you got to be careful there as well. So just be careful when you do that, that you're looking at those all and being very careful that they match those words in the box. Okay? All right, second graders and Rodney, today what you're going to be taking a look at for your math is geometric shapes. If you look at this page, I put in there that you don't have to do anything on this page, but you might want to use this page here to take a look at or to help answer some questions. Because look at, we have this shape right here. It looks like an upside down ice cream cone. That's why it's called a cone. Then we have this shape here that's a bunch of squares. This is a cube. This one looks like a ball, but we don't call it a ball. It's called a sphere. Then down here, this one, it's got 4 triangles with a square at the bottom. It's called a pyramid. Then we have almost like the cube, except there's rectangles. It's called a rectangular prism. And then this one's got a circle on the top and a circle on the bottom. That's called a cylinder. Okay. So what you're gonna do if you look at your lesson practice sheet, like on number 4, on both sides, they're gonna tell you that those same exact things. That you're going to have to go and tell exactly what shape is it. Circle that. So if you have to go back and find one of those things, or go back and look what the name of that shape is, and then circle it. All right. Back up on the top, number 1, it says there's 50 paper clips, and she gave 18 of them to her friends, or to her friend. How many does she have now? So what do we have to do? Add or subtract? We have to subtract, we take away. So we take 50 minus 18. So remember, we write that on the line like this, 50 minus 18 equals, remember you write it horizontally, but then over in the workspace, you write it up and down. And be very careful because remember when we write it up and down vertically, okay, now can we do 0 minus 8? Nope, so we go to the 5 and we cross the 5 off and make it a 4. We put a little 1 in front of the 10, or the 0 to make it a 10, and then we can subtract. So make sure we borrow on that top part, okay? Number 2 is dealing with estimating. Remember, you got to estimate both 51 and 38, and then which problem has both of those estimates down there. Number 3 is what we were working on sharing equally. One of them is going to have an extra, so be careful there. Number 5, since we already talked about number 4, you got to use that chart over there to answer that question about how many kids were absent each day. And then 6 is a bunch of subtracting, or adding and subtracting. For the subtracting, you're going to have to borrow for both of them. But then look at the last part. It says multiplying by 10. Well, just review here. 3 times 10. Well, if I took 10 3 times, 10, 20, excuse me, your answer would be 30. Okay, so if I did 7 times 10, count by tens 7 times, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, your answer would be 70. So really all you have to do is take that second number, write it again, and put a 0 behind it. Okay, so just be careful there with your multiplying by 10. On the back side of your paper, everything is exact like normal. It's usually the same exact things, just different numbers, same exact concepts. So be careful with how you're doing it. Keep working hard at that. You guys have been doing an awesome job on those that have been turning in their work. So keep it up. Keep up the good work, and don't rush to get it done. And keep up the good, nice, neat handwriting and all that, so I can read it and all that good stuff. So keep it up. Excuse me, my allergies have been bothering me lately, so it's because I've been outside too much. All right, For your reading, second graders, you're going to be reading, there's three little short stories called biographies. Biographies are stories that are written about someone in their life. You're going to read about three people. One's a president, one's an astronaut, and one's an athlete. And these people, you're going to find out, why are they so famous? And what did they do in their life? Why do we remember them? So you're going to read those three stories. They're on page 136. It starts on in your hardcover book. And then what you have to do is get to on page 79. You're going to use those words up there to fill in the blank that goes with each clue. So like the first one says a time word. So I go up there and I look at a time word. At first I would say, oh, is it watch? Not watch, because it's not talking about this type of watch. Like, oh, I guess I'm wearing it here. Where it's talking more of like like watch with your eyes. So let's keep looking. A time word? Oh, that would be years, because it talks about a time, a certain amount of time. So we would write years for number one. So do that for the rest of those. And then page 80 is dealing with some of the words from what a biography is, or about that you read in some of those stories. So you got to replace the underlined word in the sentence with one of the words up in the box. Okay. Now, if you look at page 81 and 82, you got to kind of fill out the blanks. On page 81, you're going to look at just the story about Ellen Ochoa. That's the astronaut. And they give you some dates. This says 1958, 1990, 1993, and 1999. You have to find those dates in your story and tell me what happened on that year. What was important that happened in the year, and write it on the line. Then at the bottom, I want you to tell me 6 things that she did that were very big accomplishments, 6 things that she did that were big things, that were very important things that she did. Okay? So you got to do that. So that first page is just on Ellen Ochoa, no one else. But on the back side of that page, you're going to talk about Ellen Ochoa, Theodore Roosevelt, Wilma Rudolph, those 3. And you got to tell me what happened in their childhood, what school subjects did they work hard at, and what did they do when they grew up. So those 3 things you got to tell me and fill in the box there. Okay? All right, enjoy those biographies. You're going to be learning about some pretty cool people there. I think you'll like it. All right, third graders, page 99 through 102. First off, you can cross off page 100. You don't have to do it. It's one that we normally skip. But on page 99, you have to go through that story at the top. There's a bunch of people, mother and father, Nathan and Sarah. They're all talking. There's 5 places where they forgot to put an exclamation point. And remember, when do we use an exclamation point? It's when it shows excitement, right? When you're saying something with excitement. So if I was yelling at our dog, the dog got out of the house and he's running and he runs out into the street, I might yell, "Watch out!" Well, that needs an exclamation point, because I wouldn't go, "Watch out," and it'd be kind of boring, right? I'm going to say it with some excitement. Or if I am on a very important phone call, and let's say the girls are talking and laughing, I might say, "Be quiet." So you see, there's a little bit more expression in your voice when you use exclamation points. So you got to find the 5 exclamation points there on the top part. Then at the bottom, you can write your own sentence, but it has to end with an exclamation point. Okay, so it's got to show some excitement. Page 101, this deals with complete sentences and incomplete sentences. There are 6 sentences there, and 3 of them are complete and 3 of them are incomplete. If they're complete, just write complete sentence on the line. That's all you have to do. If they're incomplete, you have to rewrite the whole sentence and change it so that way it is a complete sentence. Not too hard. We've done that in the past. Okay? Then on the back side, page 102, I'm not even going to explain it because it's that easy. It's one of those kindergarten work pages, I think, just filling in the missing letters. You guys should be very easy on that one. All right? 3rd and 4th grade, Javon and Dylan, you guys have language today. Okay, today we're reviewing parts of speech. There's 5 parts of speech that we're going to be going over. Okay, there's noun, person, place, or thing. Verb, action word. Pronoun, that's a word that replaces a noun like he, she, it, they, us, we. Adjective, that describes a noun, so it describes a person or a place or a thing. So like the red ball, red describes ball. And then there's an adverb, describes a verb. I ran quickly. How did you run? Quickly. Okay. If you need help, if you look at the brown or the orangish box on page 374, that will help you remember what each one of those is. On part A, you need to find, they have a word that's underlined. You got to tell me, is it a noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, or adverb? It's going to be one of those. And then part B, you need to write the word that best finishes the sentence there, and then write what part of speech it is. So you got to figure out, they give you two choices, write the word that goes in there, and then tell me what part of speech is it. Again, one of those five. And then part C, you need to rewrite the sentence, and you need to put whatever they have in parentheses. It might say, like the first one on 19 said, you got to write a noun. So you got to write a person, place, or thing in that space. The ocean is filled with animals and, what else is the ocean in the ocean? Animals. Can't say fish because that's an animal, right? Oh, how about plants? Okay. The ocean is filled with animals and plants. There you go. All right. So you got to write out the sentences for part C. So it's just a review of all those parts of speech. By the way, I loved some of your guys' poems. You guys did a really good job at some of those poems. I haven't read all of them yet, but the ones that I got back on Friday afternoon and were really, really well done. I was excited to read through some of them, and I thought they're kind of funny, huh? A lot of them were. I was trying to figure out what your favorite food was, and I had to wait to the very last line to figure it out. So good job on those. Keep up that good work. All right, fourth graders for math, Trey and Leah, you guys have another test today. So Mr. Wasser will be getting that to you, and make sure that you're going over that and ready for that. And then fourth grade, Leah, Javon, and Dylan for your reading. First thing you have to do is read a little bit of a story about poetry. There's a bunch of poems in your story hardcover book. Read through them. I may go over them a little bit in our Zoom tomorrow, or this morning, I should say. But make sure you read through those poems. Have someone read them to you if you need to, okay? Then your assignment on page 85, you're just going to fill in the blank. These are all words that describe poetry, and I put in there, if you go back to page 515 in your hardcover book, these words are all, that page will help you fill in the blank there of what goes to where, okay? Then on page 86, this is the tricky part, and I'm going to go over this a little bit more this morning in our Zoom. They're going to tell you have to fill in those blanks about what type of poem each is. So there's 4 different ones. There's rhyming ones, so ones that have rhyming words. Hair, bear. Any rhyming words at the end of the lines. Okay. Then there's sense words, things that you may hear or you might smell. You're not going to actually smell it, but you can. They give you some examples like glisten or thorny. Ugh, you can almost feel like a thorny. You can almost feel it like a thorn pricking your finger. Or sour, that might be how something tastes. Okay, and then figurative language is when you read this poem, it makes you picture something in your mind. So like spring arrived laughing. Can spring actually laugh? No, but you could actually picture something laughing, right? Flowers covered the hillside like a quilt. Are flowers like a blanket? No, but it's called figurative language. It's supposed to help kind of draw a picture in your brain. And then the last one is wordplay. And this is like clever or funny uses of words. So like, I scream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream. Okay. So for each one of those boxes, you have to give 2 poems. And some of them don't have titles, so you can just write like a word that describes that poem. And then over at where it says example, for that poem, if you wrote one of the poems, you have to tell me the example. So like if for the rhyme words, if you wrote, let's say, I'm just going to make up a poem, the camel, then you got to tell me what 2 words in that camel poem rhymed that made you put it up in the rhyming section. Okay? Like I said, I'm going to go over this in our Zoom meeting this morning. So please make sure that because it's a little bit tricky, I would like to go over it and give us a little bit more extra help on that. Okay? All right. I think that should be about it for today. Keep working hard. Keep getting those assignments turned into me. Just so you're aware, heads up for tomorrow, I will not be on Zoom in the morning or in the evening. I have two meetings tomorrow, so I will not be able to. I have one in the morning and one in the evening, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to me to be on those um, uh, Zoom meetings. So, but I will be back again on Wednesday. I'll put that in our notes for tomorrow. So, I hope everyone has a great day. And again, if you have any questions or you're not getting something, feel free to get in touch. All right, talk to you later. Bye.